So I've just had my ClubSport S discs fitted to my Golf R. I'm just sitting in it now. I've just been driving for about 5 miles, maybe, well, actually probably less than that, a couple of miles. So yeah, really early days. I'll show you a little look around them. I've just been checking them out. They look amazing. Yeah, I actually got them from a friend, from a subscriber. Always thought about getting ClubSport S discs. This is for my MK7 Golf R, which I'm sitting in now, as you can see. Really happy. Yeah, like I'm a kid at a sweet shop, basically, because I never do kind of things like this. I've had those discs and pads on the car from new, basically. Had this car about 5.5 years, and I go super easy on brakes. You know, I'm not a heavy braker. I just kind of anticipate the things in front. That's kind of what I do, and I like flowing through the roads when I do have fun. But yeah, I'd always thought about this as kind of like an upgrade. And yeah, ClubSport S, if you're not familiar, was like the fastest Golf still around the Nürburgring in terms of, yeah, production, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it was the front wheel drive, didn't have any back seats, really amazing, super limited, about 150 made, or knocking about in the UK anyway. And yeah, and they did the front discs for those. I believe they also were available in the Mark 7.5 performance pack, and basically it's just little drilled grooves, a little bit better stopping power, which is cool. Yeah, so that's great. So I fitted those, and rear discs as well, which are Brembo, and it's Brembo pads all round. Now the first cool thing aesthetically is basically on VWs, and one thing that I was really worried about when I was buying a MK7 Golf R, and probably any Golf to be honest with you, the rust protection is crap around the hub, and you'll notice it'll just like rust, and I'll show you sort of images of what mine were like before obviously the fitting was done. And yeah, there's not much you can do unless you just, you know, paint them back and you galvanize them, you make them all safe. So mine did fare okay actually. It was just the rears were getting quite pitted quite badly. These Brembo have actually painted certainly the rear ones and sort of protected them quite nicely. Whether or not the front, which are from genuine VW, last the same, I guess I'll have to wait and see. But yeah, at the moment they're looking shiny anyway, and it does look really cool with the grooves, I'm not gonna lie. And initial sort of pedal feel and everything is great. I had a brake fluid change about a year ago. So SCC, the guys, I asked them, does it need another one? They said no. You know, if it's had it in the last couple of years, don't worry about that. They were really helpful actually, and really fitted it. And just to let you know, to get the front discs and the rear discs and the front pads and the rear pads done, it's about 2 hours labour. They charged me £170. So I'm quite transparent on this. You know, I don't like, you know, beat around the bush. I'm just a normal guy doing these kind of things. So I do like to kind of, yeah, give my opinion on it all. So I'll run them in a bit, probably about 500 miles before I can start really sort of getting a feel of them. But they're not squeaking, which was my big worry, and they're feeling really good on the pedals. So that's great, because although my discs were actually probably fine, they're probably only about 60, maybe 70% worn. I'm pretty sure the pads had it, and yeah, they're just old, 5.5 years. So worth a change, and I'm super happy with it, with the results. So I will keep you informed with future videos, and I'll do a proper video on what those discs and pads are like, because I know a lot of people ask about it. And yeah, I've obviously finally took the plunge, and you can probably know from me, I've had the car 5.5 years. I'd love to have it another 5 years. So yeah, you're probably going to see it, and you know, I'll document it on the channel. Other things with the car, it's got an oil and filter service due, which is just classic VW stuff. So when I turn on the car, the car turns on, it goes oil service inspection now, exclamation mark, give us your money. That's pretty much what it says. Yeah, it's just a minor service that's needed. I could have actually got it done at SCC, but actually pricing wise, they weren't actually that much different to VW. I think it was about, I think for a minor service, about £180 from SCC, and it was £200 from VW. And this car has a full main VW service history, so for 20 quid, of course, I'm just going to go to VW. So a little bit surprised about that. But yeah, I don't know if I ever get something like Haldex and like a major service, maybe someone like SCC and Independent will be better, because they are much more car enthusiasts, whereas VW, it's just like, yeah, they don't really care too much. But yeah, so that will get done this week. I also had issues with the coolant. I had a low coolant warning light. These Golf Rs and Mark 7s have a common issue with the thermostat housing leaking around the silicon bag. Yeah, it's just a bit of a shame. I think it's just made of plastic, so it's a poor design. I had issues probably about a year into my ownership with it low, topped it up and never had any problems, went to VW and they just topped it up and it was fine. It came on about 2 weeks ago. I'd noticed it was low, and I'll be honest, I gave it a bit of a fun blast, and after obviously the car got very hot, it came up and I checked the coolant and it was like proper low, so I sort of crawled it around. I then went to VW and they topped it up. I had like the coolant as well, so that was really good to get done, and now it's sort of topped up to like a decent level. So for me, I'm just going to monitor it a little bit. Obviously if it is leaking, it might be leaking slowly, So I'm just gonna have to see if it goes down even more. I mean, I'll check probably with SCC actually to see what they recommend, whether or not it needs a thermostat housing done, which I believe is about 695 quid, or just maybe the coolant needs a reflush. I don't know, it's quite old, it's never been changed. Do you have to change the coolant? I don't know. But at the moment the levels are looking fine. The car's on 41,857 miles, so you can remember that for when I need to run in and bed in the brakes. So I'm quite interested to see, yeah, just how it goes, and obviously I don't want the coolant going down. But yeah, the car's getting a little bit of TLC, and yeah, just absolutely loving these Mark 7. Oh, such a good car, love it. And now with the new discs, I'm like, ah, exciting. And it's all proper like OEM kind of stuff, you know. I haven't gone like, well, first of all, a big brake kit wouldn't fit on here because I've got the 18s. But you know, I'm doing this within sort of like my own budget and stuff on certain things. So, you know, I was quite happy with it all in all. It was quite good. I think the owner got the discs, who's actually a subscriber of the channel, and you will see a video in the future. He's got a 40th edition Mark 7 GTI, which I love, and he's doing lots of work on that, and we're gonna get together and do a proper review, so stay tuned to that. He had them as like his spare brakes, and he got a big brake kit, so he didn't need them, so gave them to me. I think he got them from somewhere called Awesome GTI, but don't quote me on it. Maybe he can sort of comment on it as well. I'll let him know that I've done this video. So that is that done. I filmed one of, yeah, you know, it keeps on coming with this video. I filmed probably one of the best videos I've ever done, most exciting videos I've ever done yesterday. So it's all been done, all been filmed. I just need to work really hard on the edit on that one. So bear with me. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. It's super exciting. I still can't believe it happened, to be honest with you, and I'm still chatting with the yeah, the owner now. Just a super fascinating person with this just amazing projects. Like, I could not believe it, and I was so excited and so happy to get the opportunity. Went down there, pissing it down with rain now, but it wasn't when we were, yeah, sort of doing the film. And yeah, hopefully more stuff with them in the future as well. And I've got a few things as well with past subscribers. You might remember the 45 edition GTI, the Mark 8, so I might have something with them, and a TCR as well. Yeah, lots of things going on the channel, lots of exciting things. I was at Castle Coombs at the weekend too, met up with the owner of the ST edition and a few of his friends as well. I've got some fantastic fast forward, so maybe something there. So yeah, lots happening on the channel, so do subscribe. You know, you've got this far in, you're like 8 minutes in now, so you might as well subscribe. There's plenty to come. And yeah, just let me know any questions you have that you'd like to know more about the brakes, and I'll happily let you know in the comments. And if enough people like that specific comment, maybe I'll obviously mention it in a video. I'm really looking forward to yeah, sort of getting to grips with these brakes. Very early stages, as in they were fitted today. Yeah, all's looking pretty promising. But yeah, yeah, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, hope you enjoy the content that's coming in the future. And comment below.